Guys, Alakandiotis, and wanted to do a cool test for you guys to kind of see the reporting environments within MyBI App versus Pastel. So we actually love both of them because Pastel is an awesome capturing and ERP kind of software database environment. However, our MyBI App its purpose was specifically to help us enhance the speed and the accuracy at which we could extract data out of that PSQL database. So by the way, Pastel populates and generates data, and it lands it in a PSQL database. Those are those .dat files that you see in each of your Pastel companies. Okay, MyBI App operates out of it automates reporting from a transactional level out of any Pastel Partner, Pastel Xpress, or Sage 50 cloud environment. So I'm going to show you quickly a test we're doing here, just to show you a cool kind of like insight. We don't always see this, and we don't always realize how the two environments work, especially the Pastel environment. And with that, you can have a lot more insight as to why it sometimes takes long for your accountant or your auditor to ultimately provide you with some information. Okay, so first of all, we're going into Pastel here. This is Pastel Xpress, by the way. Which is the same as Pastel Partner and Sage 50 cloud environments. Okay, so we're going to now just generate a general ledger. Okay, so you go to View and you go to General Ledger and then Transactions. Okay, Detailed Ledger. That's it. It's going to ask me for some open batches. Perhaps if we now get to that, okay, pop through it. But anyway, so what I want to show you now is we're going to now process this a GL, a transactional GL. Okay, by detail, debits and credits, but only for March, 1 month. And we're going to do it into Excel. Okay, so this is, what we are doing here. This is for even the current year, but this is a demo database. So it's got a Feb 2020 year end. We haven't rolled this one over because we don't have to, it's demo. Okay, so here we go. Now check this. This is very interesting. Here we go. And it opens the Excel spreadsheet here and it starts populating this. Now I've got quite a big machine. I've got a 16 gig RAM, i7, it's quite a strong spec machine, but look at the speed at what it lands this data. It's very good. It lands on a line-by-line basis. It's kind of like almost like those dot matrix prints. It's printed, it goes next line, next line, next line, and prints from left to right. You can really see it landing data. So this is the speed at where it lands. Now we are at line 50, so you can see it with this speed that issuing something like 10,000 rows of GL transactions is something that is very, very hectic. Secondly, what you see here, it's landing 8 columns. It's landing date, which is below that, entry type, then reference, then contra account. It even says if available, and that's obviously something you get set within your Pastel. Description, debit, credit, cumulative. Now, these 3 columns, in my opinion, are actually just it's all the same as cumulative because that's plus debits minus credits gives you this column. Okay. All right, so you get 8 columns. This thing is still landing, and if we go down to the bottom and we kind of like catch up to where it is now at the end, and there we go, the race is on, you'll see that once I click here, just by accident, something happens. It stops, it makes a ting sound in the background. Now that's Pastel giving you an error message. It says, oh, I've got this error, very nice, 450290. Anyway, we don't know what to do with that as a counter. You go Control or Delete or something. But anyway, what it's actually just saying is you've stopped me. Just press OK, and here I continue again. Okay, there we go. Okay. Another thing also that's quite difficult is if I just scroll up to this level, for instance, where I'm now at, I can see here there's a credit of 10,500, but what account has it been credited to? I can see it's been debited to 8,000, but what is the account, the credit? So I have to scroll up all the way to the top where it starts, and there I can see, it went to 1,100,001 sales dash type 21. Okay, that's just the account name in this demo. But it's quite difficult to work with this, and you have to rework a lot of this data. Okay, so now the speed test goes is how quickly can we get access to these transactions through MyBI App. Okay, so this screen is going to continue in the background. Now I've opened a new instance of Excel over here, so I can still operate in the app now. Now MyBI has now gone, and this specifically has been opened on the WOW demo, the WOW database. Okay, that I've just shown you. So we're going to go to the trial balance here, and this is the full trial balance of this database, okay? And I'm going to go to the bottom. Instead of drilling only on March 2019, which we did over here, we can also slice it if we want. we're actually going to drill on the whole thing and see the speed at where it lands. Okay, so at a stage, it's going to actually pop back to Pastel now. Why? Because it's actually, once it's done in Excel, it's going to tell me, I am done, and it automatically pops back on my computer onto Pastel. It's just something that Pastel kind of is telling me, I'm done, you can now continue in me. By the way, I can also not continue in Pastel this stage. Can't do anything here. So you'll see that this won't really allow you to do much at this stage. So I can perhaps try and see if I see it's kind of like it's very slow, and now it's, you know, it's quite difficult and you don't know where the thing is going to land. So it's better just to leave it. All right, so let's go back and see where are we now on this race, and it is at row number. Oh, it is finished. Okay, so I went. Okay, great. So as I kind of like scroll back to the back and forth, it's finished. So now you can see that little message box is gone, and it's landed about, you know, 460 lines of data. Okay, now we're going to go back to MyBI App. We're in the trial balance here. We're going to actually draw on everything. Okay, so we got 460 lines of data in about, what is that, 2.5 minutes. Now we're going to try and see how fast is MyBI versus that. Okay, so I double clicked. Now I'm drilling down to transactions. It's showing me everything in this in that database. It's landed, and it's landed 3,896 rows. Okay, so that's 460 rows in 2.5 minutes versus almost 10 times that in 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Okay. The other thing is also quite nice. If we go back into this, what we're seeing over here, let's say, for instance, this is a little feature we want to see, and we say, these are all the transactions in March 2019 for account number 8400. Okay, so this needs a lot of rework in the auditing space. I mean, I am auditor, and I used to be an auditor in one of the big four, PwC. There we go, some name throwing right there. Anyway, so it was awesome. It's also a company, and all the auditing companies are awesome. So what happens is that you have to work a lot of this data. You can't like really do too much with this environment over here. The other thing also is quite difficult. Where does this Z contrast? Where's the actual credit for this? Because this whole thing balances to 0. It's very difficult to work in this environment. As auditor, I can tell you now, and you have to do a lot of rework. Okay, so let's now first go here. So this is a data table. So first of all, that's a lot easier to work in. We're going to now work in it a little bit to see. Let's pick up these transactions and see what we see. Okay, so first of all, we want to just pick up the transactions in 84000000, which is a cash book. Then we only want to see the transactions. This is everything. Remember, now we didn't draw only on March, and I'm going to quickly just filter through to March. I want to take off everything and just show me March now. There we go. There we go. Okay, so check now. Now it says 5375. Oh, there we go. Then credit of 376. Oh, there we go. Okay, 42 debit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think you get the idea. This is everything that we're seeing here, but it's been accessed so much quicker. But look at this cool thing. There's also Z contrast, which is the difficult one. Now, me as auditor, I'm saying, how do I audit it? How do I get all my transactions linked up nicely? I'm going to show you this. Is quite cool. Something called transaction ID. So first of all, we don't land 8 columns. We land 58 columns. So we are a BI environment. We actually have taken the fields out of the database of Pastel, and what we've done is we've added tons of other fields, which is all these nice little extras, and we've also brought forward some of the raw data fields, which are just phenomenal for auditing and phenomenal for any accountant to work with. It's kind of like reading a story when you look at your books. Instead of like this, I'm reading stories now here, which is just nice because you can link stuff and you can really see what's happening over here. Also, just note that on every line, you can actually see what account has been affected with this transaction. All right. Now, okay, so now we're going to go and we see here, for instance, it's been processed through cash book and it's done through cash book 1 receipts. That's your ERP, your E-type, sorry. Now we're going to take this little okie here. This is called transaction ID 591. We're going to clear this and we're going to go to 591 over here. Check now what happens. 591. Voila. Look here. It actually calls up everything for me that's related to this transaction. If I go and click here, those 3 transactions actually balance to 0. Okay, so what you're telling me? Okay, I can now see I credited a customer receipt to this customer, MIT 001, and then to this customer, I'm sorry, credited. and then I debited it to cashbook 53, which is a combination. So that's what Pastel does. It actually, if you don't specifically set it, it actually combines transactions into one, and it throws the Z contrast for you. And that's basically a combination, and it's an automated transaction, by the way, because it went through your cash book. You said take it to these accounts, but it automatically populated then to the cash book that's linked, the control account that's linked to that cash book. Okay. So yeah, that's a quick overview of speed test. Thought you guys will enjoy that. I really hope you enjoyed that. And another indication is to enhancing and working with these two environments together. Your Pastel stable database knows where to place debits and credits. It knows how to populate a database versus and then adding MyBI app onto that, which helps you report quickly and helps you now to see all the transactions in a quick and efficient way, but in a rich way. The other thing I also just wanted to point out is I didn't need Pastel licensing to actually access the data through this MyBI app. Okay, so it doesn't need access, whilst you do need it, as you saw in the other test where I had to go into Pastel and then export from there into Excel. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Cheers.